This cooler was given to me, and it's not so much a refrigerator as it is, like I said, a cooler. It goes off of the cigarette lighter thing, the 12 volts, and from what I read about the instructions, it really just brings whatever is in there about 5 or 10 degrees below room temperature. So if it's 100 degrees, it only brings it down to 90. But I was utilizing it today, and I pulled it out of there to change the batteries because I have two of them. I'm recharging one, and this fell off, and I didn't know that all that was in here was a fuse. But you can see the end of that is all melted. So looks like I got to it just in time before it did some damage. This is another good reminder to me about how unpredictable and precarious electricity can be. When I was in my 20s, I had this item that plugged into the wall, and you could plug it into anything from a game to a musical item or whatever, but it had all these different settings, 7 volt, 10, 12, etc. And I thought nothing of it to leave it plugged in, especially when it wasn't plugged into anything else. In other words, it wasn't running, it was just sitting idle. And one day I left, came back, and it was melting onto the ground. There was nothing plugged into it, it was just plugged into the wall. It shouldn't have been generating any electricity, but for some reason it was. And since then, I've had this, I think, rational paranoia about leaving electronic items plugged in, certainly leaving things running when you don't need to, about electrical cords getting hot, and so on and so forth. So I think it's a good paranoia. I think that, even though I didn't anticipate what I discovered with this little cooler, I just got lucky. It just proves that, it's smart to be smart about, be cautious about, and not just imagine that everything's going to be okay, because one day it might not be, and you might not be around, and then, whew,